Oh, sweet. I like this one. As you can see on the lower third that I'm using now, Shakespeare is apparently no longer gay. This is very, very interesting to me. Um, and I'll get to the point in a moment here, because for those who have sort of sold their souls to a life of suburban domesticity, I can imagine that dealing with the school system and the sort of new breed of woke parents and teachers must be an absolute fucking nightmare. Um, and I think this headline from the Post, you motherfuckers know I love the New York Post. I think this headline says it all. William Shakespeare ditched by woke teachers over misogyny and racism. And let's check her out. An increasing number of woke teachers are refusing to study The Bard, accusing his classic works of promoting misogyny, racism, homophobia, classism, anti-Semitism, and misogynoir. How about misogynoir? Tell you all about that in a moment. Let me tell you, but before that, I just want to say on Shakespeare's behalf, if any of this shit had been apparent when I was a teenager, I might have paid attention during English class. When I was growing up, Shakespeare was for fags. Now, if you like Shakespeare, you hate fags. this is this is very, very funny. I know you're not allowed to say fags anymore, but I'm framing this in the late 90s, early 2000s, when that word was still acceptable. So it's like think of in a period drama, you would have to use, well, just watch a Tarantino movie. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, Romeo and Juliet, like, you would call if some guy was fucking in middle school I remember, I got sent to the principal's office because some guy in my drama class that they made you take the arts classes, and some guy did a really over the top Shakespeare monologue, and I called him a homo, and I got sent to the principal's office, and now Shakespeare's apparently the guy who's making fun of homos, which is funny. Romeo and Juliet would have been a lot more interesting if the Montagues had showed up to fight the Capulets, and called them a bunch of fags. Like, that would have been funny. Like, that would have been like a bunch of like tough guys on the street in Brooklyn. Like, who are you calling a homo? You fucking homo. Yeah, that's big talk coming from a twink in a pair of tights. You want to go? Yeah, I'm going to bang your sister and draw her into a suicide pact. Yeah, that would have been so much better than whatever. I don't even remember any lines from Romeo. Romeo, oh Romeo is about all I remember because it sucked. It was fucking terrible. Fucking awful. It's like it was a bad teen movie. It would have been so much better if they had been calling each other homos. Then you would have tuned in. Who was the guy? I don't know their names other than Romeo and Juliet. I don't know any of their names. Was there a Benvolio? I don't know, because it was stupid. Because English class fucking sucked. Yeah, and they're saying it's like he was an anti-Semite. Like, if Juliet had blamed the Jews for 9/11, or back then, I guess it would have been the plague. Again, high school English would have been a lot more fun. That would have been something if Juliet was like in the middle of a like whatever they call it, a monologue or a diatribe, started talking about jet fuel not being able to melt steel beams, and passenger manifests, and Jews not showing up to work on September 11th in the Twin Towers, we would have had a play on our hands. And you just hear some guy outside calling somebody a fag. Like, that would have been so much better than whatever the fuck they were cramming down our throats in English class. Shakespeare was a tool used to civilize black and brown people in England's empire, insisted Shakespeare scholar Ayanna Thompson, a professor of English at Arizona State University. I got to take her word for it. Maybe it was like maybe it doesn't mean civilized. Maybe she means sedate. I just remember being so fucking bored in English. And I think this is like the third week in a row I'm talking about how much English class sucks because we had the poetry chick from the inauguration and the Super Bowl. So all I can think about lately is how I was always bored as shit in English class. Like I just remember from, I want to say junior year English, I think I spent staring at the chick's ass in front of me, like trying to pull it off without getting caught and trying to discreetly fart so nobody would hear where it came from and they would just kind of have to guess the smell. And there was this fucking Asian kid that sat next to me that smelled awful. So I would just, you kind of pray it's going to get pinned on him. Which I guess, I don't know. Again, I think that's more being sedated than civilized. My senior year English, I pretty much slept through class. Like there was another Mike who sat next to me, and this was in an honors English class. I would show up, just kind of put my head down, and if I heard Mike getting called on, I would just ignore it until the Mike next to me fielded the question. Which it usually worked, and then every once in a while the teacher would be like, "No, Montone," and I'd be like, "Fuck, you're gonna have to." I got nothing. I think I honestly want to say at least once a week, the phrase "I got nothing" came out of me in English class, and then you study for the test, you get a C, and it's all good. Sarah Mulhern Gross, an English teacher at High Technology High School in Lincroft. Oh, not New Jersey. Fuck. I hang my hopes on New Jersey being one of the last bastions of not fucking pussiness. I don't know how to describe it. Like maybe a place where we embrace our toxic masculinity. Is that it? But it feels like, I don't know, like Texas and Florida, you guys got to hold the fucking line. She says she's teaching Romeo and Juliet with a side of toxic masculinity analysis. Ugh. Like, again, it's amazing to me how far we've slid on the manliness scale. When I was growing up, Shakespeare was for pussies. It was a bunch of guys in tights and makeup talking like homos. And again, I can say that because I'm referencing 1999 when homo was still in play. Only in the year 2021 would a bunch of pussies in tights and makeup be considered so masculine as to be toxic. It's almost like what? Because they haven't had gender reassignment surgery yet. Like fucking Shakespeare was famous for having cross dressers in his plays. So we've gone now from people at there's that drag queen story hour, which is supposed to be like a championing of the gender bending acceptability of the current age, and now we're taking Shakespeare, who used to be for homos, involving cross-dressers, all of these things that now are supposed to be good, but they're like, oh no, but yeah, this guy also sucks. So it's just very confusing. It really is. There's the meme of fucking Charlie Kelly in Always Sunny doing the Pepe Silva thing, and that's where we're at. Shakespeare's works are full of problematic, outdated ideas with plenty of misogyny, racism, homophobia, classism, anti-Semitism, and yes, I wanted to get to this, misogynoir, librarian Amanda McGregor wrote, with the final word meaning misogyny aimed at black women. Yes, it's good that they explained what misogynoir means, because I did think before reading that it was misogyny aimed at black women, I honestly thought it was just film noir about misogynists, like an old black and white detective movie about a detective who only hires assistants with really big tits, and he enforces an incredibly revealing office dress code. Like he shows up for work in the detective's overcoat, but when he takes it off, he's only got a jock strap on, and he makes them walk around in thigh highs and garters and all sorts of fun. But I don't know. Whatever. Like I said, English class is fucking boring. All right. I will say my English teachers were by and large good people. It's just that fucking James Joyce doesn't translate to teenagers. You're literally at 17 years old, outside of winning football games, your priorities for me were figuring out how to discreetly pop the zit on my forehead and how to get home before my parents so I could whack off in peace. Like that's how the 17-year-old worked. The 17-year-old does not want to read The Long Christmas Dinner. All right. I feel like if they used like Chuck Palahniuk and Stephen King, and I'm sure there are a few broads out there writing some stuff if you want to diversify. Bret Easton Ellis would be great for a high school reading list. Like that would be a good syllabus that could keep your attention. And then you're teaching kids to love reading. You got to ditch the old stuff. And it has nothing to do with racism or homophobia or misogyny or whatever. It's just that it's fucking boring. Like, it's boring as fucking shit. It sucks. English class blows, okay? It's 2021. You have kids, they're walking around the halls with access to HD streaming porn, okay? Unless Lady Chatterley's lover has a 10-inch cock and goes ass to mouth on Lady Chatterley, it's going to be hard to hold the attention of the contemporary teenager.